Hey guys, what is up? Pixel saying. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you class breakdowns on Evil Dead the game. Now, we got the Game Informer video. Obviously, it shows you all the different characters you can play in the game. They kind of go over the stats a little bit, you know, in the bottom left. You know, they show some perks and stuff of what each character brings. Apologies if you see me like looking over here. I have my other monitor on from my when I actually played the beta. I have some screenshots of, you know, when I actually, you know, what I took of what each character brings to the team and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm going to go over each character in depth a little bit and explain, you know, what they're best suited in that type of role, because I did have videos recorded. Apparently I'm not allowed to actually share any of these, but I am allowed to discuss it and talk about it as well, which is alright. So let's begin in anyways. So we have the leader role, and of course you've probably seen in the Game Informer video there's 3 leaders in the game right now. And basically what they don't say in the video is that leaders have specific auras that improve their stats and the stats of nearby survivors. They're also more resistant to fear. So what that means is, you know, your little fear meter in the bottom left will go up a lot, like not a lot slower, but a bit slower than everyone else in the team, because, you know, they're a bit more resistant to, you know, jump scares and, you know, the trap setting off and things like that. And so I think being, you know, having the leader in the team is definitely key. You definitely need one of those in the squad, because, you know, if you get your fear maxed out, you know, fear goes up quite fast in this game. People don't realize how fast it actually goes up, especially if the demon decides to spec around, you know, increasing the fear from the traps and things like that. So bringing, you know, a leader to the team is definitely very helpful. Alright, so the first one in the leader category is Ash from Ash vs Evil Dead, obviously from the TV show, and he has 4 abilities. So the first 2 you unlock at the start of the game, regardless of what level you are. So you'll have, you know, the active skill. So if you press B or something on your controller, it'll knock back the enemies and it'll stagger their balance bar, making them a bit easier to attack and, you know, to do finishing moves on. The El Jefe, I don't know why I struggle to say that, and an aura that affects all survivors within range, increasing their fear resistance and damage they inflict. So, you know, when you're playing leader, you have this like big radius, and you can increase this in the leader skill tree as well. So obviously each character has their own skill trees, and so, you know, if you're playing Ash, you know, or, you know, Annie, or you're playing Lord Arthur, then you can spec into increasing their radius in their own specific skill trees. And each leader has the same skill tree. Obviously, it doesn't like follow over each character, if that makes sense. You have to level them up individually, but they all have the same set of skills that they can increase, as well as having the 4 perks that they can level up as well. So, like I said, Ash has the El Jefe one, which is really good for, you know, fear resistance and increasing the damage that your survivors inflict around you as well. Old Friends, start the match with a chainsaw. You unlock that at level 10, which is really good. And like I said, they don't really go in depth about discussing these types of things, so you know, I'm kind of just shining light on it and what things they missed. El Jefe Grande, obviously it just increases the second ability that Ash has. Yeah, it every time you do a finisher, it basically increases El Jefe's, you know, stats and effects to all the nearby survivors. So, you know, that's Ash's type of role in the leader category. I think it's really good. I really enjoyed it, especially when you have the chainsaw. When you spawn with a chainsaw, you can literally just hit an enemy like once or twice and do a finisher on them. So, you know, you're going to be able to activate that ability quite a lot. It does take a long time to actually get a level 20. I mean, there's 2 methods to actually leveling up each character as well. I'll just talk about that real quick. So the first method is obviously playing them. When you play a match as them, you actually gain XP for that like specific character at the end of the match, and also you will get like an overall character level, so like an overall profile level. So just say like you are, you know, you're playing Dead by Daylight, so you know Dead by Daylight has devotion level, which is your overall profile level, and so every time you level up your profile level in this game, you'll get 10,000 spirit points. You'll also earn spirit points from playing the game as well, so, you know, you'll come out at the end of a match with about 2,000 spirit points, and it'll require like 10,000, you know, overall XP spirit points to increase your level on each character. So, you know, if that makes sense, like I said, if you stick to one survivor, you'll level them up relatively quick. Not massively amount, but you know, you get the gist of it. You know, you can spend spirit points in them to level up, and also if you play them, you gain XP. So there's 2 methods to actually leveling up each survivor in the game, which is really good because, you know, you don't want to be forced to play like the likes of Ed, because Ed sucks in this game. So if you wanted to level up Ed, you could actually play any other character, and you'd still gain spirit points, and then you can just pool the spirit points into Ed if you want. So it's really good, and like I said, you get like 10,000 spirit points every time you level up your profile level, so that's quite a lot to spend on each character as well. So anyways, let's get back into the class breakdowns and, you know, what the characters are for. So Ash, like I said, he's kind of like your overall leader that you want in the team. You know, he gives the survivors obviously better inflicted damage, whether that be ranged or melee. And he also brings fear resistance to the team. So moving on to the second character in the leader category is Annie Nobi, and they don't really like hover over her much in the game at all. In that gameplay video that we got, so Annie Nobi actually is based around range and bringing, you know, the hunters, like buffing up the hunter. You know, if you've got a hunter in your team, it buffs them up. Basically, when activated, you know, when she has a skill, so when you activate her skill, the skill increases the range damage from Annie and any teammates who are near her. So you can see what her abilities are going to be about. Her next ability is Howitzer, and these are the 2 that you start off with the character, by the way. You and all teammates within this aura effect radius deal more damage with ranged weapons. Again, you know, it increases by 10% damage. So like I said, if you look at your team and you see a lot of hunters, you know, people playing Kelly or Amanda or, you know, Evil Dead 2 Ash or Ed. I don't know why you'd want to play Ed. But yeah, so her ability is basically just going to increase the range damage for those types of characters, which is really good. Her third one that unlocks at level 10, because like I said, they don't actually go over her, so I have to look at my own screenshots of what I took from the beta and, you know, obviously explain what each one is. So when you get to level 10 with this character, you unlock Haymaker. And so attacks by you and your teammates within the aura's effect radius cause more balance bar damage to basic evil units, which is pretty good because I think balance bars are kind of overlooked a bit in this game. People don't, you know, really spec into it much, but balance bars, like how difficult it is to take down one of the Deadites, or even, you know, even just basic Deadites. So, you know, if you're playing Demon and you decide to, you know, level up your Demon into doing like extra balance bars and stuff like that, it makes them a lot harder to take down. So, you know, speccing into balance bars and stuff is going to be very important as well. And like I said, you unlock this at level 10, so it's like a 25% balance bar damage increase, which is pretty good. And her last one that you unlock at level 20 is Slugger. Attacks by you and your teammates within the aura's effect radius cause more balance bar damage to elite and boss evil units. So at level 10, it only does it to basic units, and at level 20, it does it to obviously elite and boss evil units, which is really good. So, I mean, that increases the balance bar damage to boss units by 100%, which is obviously quite a lot, and balance bar damage to elite units by 25%. So I don't know if this is going to change because this is only in beta right now. Obviously, we're going to have the new beta on Friday, which is probably after I've posted this video. So, again, you know, this is like, you know, maybe it's temporary stats. Maybe they might have adjusted some, who knows. But, you know, this is what we have right now. And this is, you know, like I said, Annie is probably going to be the best character that you want for range type of characters if you want to buff those up in the, like, the leader category, if that makes sense. And so let's move on to Lord Arthur, and Lord Arthur is the third and the last leader in the leader class role. So with Lord Arthur, you do get 2 perks again that when you start off with the game with. So the Lord's Wrath, when activated, this ability increases the damage inflicted by your melee attacks and those of your nearby teammates, in addition to reducing fear levels. If Lord Arthur has a sword, he inflicts extra damage. And of course, he does spawn with a sword as well, because his second ability makes him spawn with a sword, and we'll get into that as well. So, when you activate the Lord's Wrath ability, like I said, it increases the damage inflicted, which is, like, on melee attacks, which is really important in this game. Like, this dude is mental with warriors. Like, if you have 2 warriors, Lord Arthur and, you know, Cheryl in your team, you're gonna just absolutely wipe the floor with a lot of Deadites, because it's just going to be so fun and just so much damage. It's going to be insane. So, you know, the warriors are spec'd around melee, of course, and hunters are spec'd around range. So, Basically, like I said, he also reduces fear levels as well when he activates his ability too. And so his second ability, like I said, he makes him spawn with a sword, but it also does something else. So you and all teammates within the aura's radius deal increased damage with heavy melee attacks, and you start the match with a sword, and increases by 30% with the heavy melee attacks. Yeah, I never really used the heavy melee attacks, but they were good. It depends on what type of weapon you have, of course. They're a lot slower to do. But yeah, they do inflict a lot of damage, especially if you've got this guy in your team. So at level 10, his third perk that you unlock at level 10, of course, is Weapon Master Light Attacks. And basically, you and all teammates within the aura's radius increase damage with light melee attacks by 30%. So you can see where I'm going from here. This guy is going to be really awesome, you know, buffing up the melee for each character. And, you know, I had a blast playing him. Every time you do an execution with this guy, the dude literally, like, bursts into flames. Like, around his armor, it's, like, all on fire. His sword, like, lights up and everything. Like, it's really cool. Obviously, at level 20, we're going to get onto his fourth perk, which is Finish with Fire. When you perform a finisher, you and your nearby teammates are temporarily granted the Lord's Wrath ability, which is really, really awesome. So I don't know if it's every time you perform a finisher or if it causes a cooldown or anything like that, but obviously it goes back to the Lord's Wrath ability, which was his first one. And obviously you activate this every time. I'm hoping it's every time you do a finisher. I mean, I think it might be a bit too OP if it is every time he does a finisher, but like I said, it obviously reduces fear levels and it increases the melee damage for everyone that does it. So yeah, like I said, this is the leader class breakdown. We're going to go through all the different characters in the game. We're going to go a bit more in depth about it. Obviously, like I said, I can't show actual gameplay, but I'm just going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about the perks, because we've obviously seen the perks in the video, so I'm obviously going to be allowed to talk about it. And what I'm going to discuss, obviously, what this character brings to the team and be a bit more in depth about that. So anyways, guys, this has been my leader class breakdown video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit that sub button if you want to see more class videos in the future. I will be trying to pump these out as much as I can, because I really want to let everyone know the full extent of this game and all the, you know, the good stuff that's actually in it. And, you know, like I said, a lot of stuff is getting looked over in these little marketing videos that I'm doing right now. So like I said, I can give you a lot more in depth about each character, because I've actually played every single character in the beta. So yeah, hit that sub button if you are new to the channel for a lot more Evil Dead content. And thank you guys so much for watching. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think is the best leader in the game right now, and who you're going to be playing when the game comes out. What leader are you going to be playing as? You know, if you're not allowed to be able to play your other character, what leader would you pick to play as in the game? So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Pixels, you're my awesome viewers, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.